The rain crashed against the glass walls at 10:47 p.m. Most floors were dark, except one. Inside the executive suite, CEO Elena Ward froze. She stared at her phone, her breath caught. A message glowed on the screen. "I miss you. Wish you were home with me." From Noah Hale, her quiet single dad employee who barely spoke. Her heart pounded once, twice. Then she saw the second message. "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. That wasn't for you. Please forget it." Across town, Noah stood shaking, his daughter asleep on his shoulder. His phone slipped from his trembling hand. He had no idea his life just changed forever. And 15 minutes later, Elena was already driving to him. A man who always tried his best, but the world never went easy on him. Noah Hale, 34 years old, living in a cramped one-bedroom apartment on the third floor of Riverside Complex. Every morning started the same way, 5:30 a.m. He'd wake up to make his 6-year-old daughter hot cocoa, using a dented pot with a broken handle. Then he'd sit by the cracked window, watching the sunrise. Lily would stumble out of bed, hair messy, eyes still sleepy. "Morning, Daddy." "Morning, sweetheart." This was his whole world now. Noah used to be a product design engineer. Used to be. Before his wife died during a complicated delivery. Before he had to leave his career behind. Before he became a single father fighting alone. Now he worked the lowest position at Helios Tech. Product error support, customer complaints, bug reports, line by line, word by word, low pay, high pressure, zero chance of promotion. His coworkers would joke behind his back. "Single dad who's too nice. That type only stays at the bottom." But Noah never argued back. He had to leave by 6 to pick up Lily from daycare. He had to save every dollar. He had to live for both himself and his late wife. The day everything changed started like any other day. Noah packed his homemade lunch, avoided eye contact with his direct manager, Mark, the guy who constantly picked on him. In the elevator, he accidentally stood next to CEO Elena Ward, 29 years old, famous for being ice cold. People called her the frozen sun behind her back. Elena wore a sharp white suit, hair tied high, light perfume scent. She glanced at Noah for 1 second, not with contempt, just curiosity. He looked down, gripped his lunchbox tighter. That morning, Lily had texted him before class. "I miss you, Daddy." Noah wanted to text back after leaving the elevator, but then the fateful moment of confusion happened. Phone in hand, work notifications piling up. He walked and typed at the same time. "I miss you too. Wish you were home with me." But the system auto-suggested the last person he messaged, Elena, and he didn't notice. Send. 2 seconds later, Noah stood frozen. His heart dropped to the floor. At the same moment, on the 42nd floor, Elena stood before an important meeting, reading that message, and her heart stirred in a way she didn't understand. She stared at the words, "I miss you. Wish you were home with me." Nobody had ever said anything like that to her. Not in years. Her hand trembled slightly, just slightly. Then the second message came through. "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. That wasn't meant for you. Please forget it." Elena's expression didn't change, but something inside her shifted. She looked out the window at the city below. For the first time in a long time, she felt something other than cold efficiency. Curiosity, maybe even concern. Back on the lower floor, Noah sat at his desk, face burning red, ears hot. His coworkers were already whispering. "Did you hear? Noah sent a love text to the CEO." "No way. That quiet guy? He's so dead." Mark walked over, slammed a hand on Noah's desk. "Got bold, did we? Texting the CEO like that?" Noah couldn't even look up. It was a mistake. "Mistake?" Mark sneered. "You better write a formal apology. Or you're done here." Noah wanted to explain, but his throat closed up. He tried to text Elena again, to apologize, but his hand shook so badly he dropped his phone twice. He finally managed to type, "I'm so sorry. That message was for my daughter. It's my fault. I accept any disciplinary action. Send. He waited, staring at the screen, hoping for any response. Nothing. No reply, no scene notification. Elena didn't respond all day. Nobody knew she was sitting in her private car, staring at that message over and over. She was successful, rich, beautiful, powerful, but nobody had ever missed her. Not like that. Not with that kind of raw honesty. And for the first time in years, Elena Ward felt something crack in the ice around her heart. The message spread through the office like wildfire. Within 1 hour, everyone knew. Noah Hale texted, "I miss you," to the CEO. The whispers started in the break room, then the hallways, then everywhere. Did he seriously do that? Single dad trying to flirt his way up? That's so pathetic. Noah kept his head down at his desk. His ears burned, his chest felt tight. He couldn't breathe properly. Mark appeared behind him, leaning over his shoulder. "So, you're hitting on the CEO now?" Noah's voice came out shaky. "It was an accident," I explained. "Accident?" Mark laughed loud enough for others to hear. "A bottom-tier employee trying to get cozy with the boss? That's called desperation." The nearby co-workers snickered. Noah wanted to disappear into the floor. Mark leaned closer, voice dropping to a cruel whisper. "Write a formal incident report by end of day, or I'm recommending termination." Noah nodded, unable to speak. His phone sat on the desk, screen dark. Still no response from Elena. Hours passed. Elena still hadn't replied. She didn't come to the office that day. Her assistant said she was handling external matters, but nobody knew the truth. Elena was sitting in her car, parked on a quiet street overlooking the city. The message was still open on her phone. "I miss you. Wish you were home with me." She had read it 20 times, maybe 30. Her finger hovered over the keyboard. She started typing several times. But what could she say? "It's okay"? Too casual. "Don't worry about it." Too dismissive. She didn't know how to respond to something that felt so real. Elena Ward had built an empire. She had wealth, power, respect, but nobody had ever missed her like that. Nobody had ever wanted her home. She stared at the city lights, feeling something she hadn't felt in years. Loneliness. That evening, Noah sat in his apartment. Lily was already asleep. He stared at his phone. The apology message still showed delivered but not read. His hands trembled as he typed again. "I sincerely apologize for the inappropriate message. It was meant for my daughter. I take full responsibility. I will accept any disciplinary action." He read it 3 times, making sure every word was right. Then he pressed send. The message went through. 1 minute passed, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, still nothing. Noah put his head in his hands. He felt sick. Tomorrow he'd probably be fired. He'd lose his income. He wouldn't be able to afford rent. What would happen to Lily? Noah arrived at work early. He hadn't slept. His eyes were red, his hands still shaking. At 9 a.m., Mark called him into the conference room. When Noah walked in, 5 other employees were already there, all staring at him. Mark stood at the head of the table, arms crossed. "Everyone, this is Noah Hale. He's here because he violated professional boundaries." Noah felt his face burning. One coworker smirked. Another looked away uncomfortably. Mark continued, "Sending personal messages to executives is a serious breach of conduct, especially when those messages are inappropriate." Noah tried to speak. "It wasn't. I'm not done." Mark cut him off. "If you want to take time off for personal issues, just ask. Don't try to manipulate your way into the CEO's good graces." Laughter rippled through the room. Noah's throat closed up. His eyes stung. He wanted to defend himself, but the words wouldn't come. This was public execution. And everyone was watching. Just as Mark opened his mouth to continue, the conference room door swung open. Hard, everyone turned. Elena Ward stood in the doorway. The room fell completely silent. She wore a black suit today, hair down, expression unreadable. Nobody expected her to be here, not today, not now. Mark's face went pale. "Ms. Ward, I was just..." Elena raised one hand. Silence. She walked into the room slowly. Every step, deliberate. Her eyes scanned the employees, then landed on Mark. "Who authorized this meeting?" Mark stammered. I I thought it was appropriate to address the situation." "The situation?" Elena's voice was ice. "You mean the private message that was sent to me? My inbox? My business?" Mark swallowed hard. "I was trying to maintain professional standards. By humiliating an employee publicly?" Elena stepped closer. "Without consulting HR? Without consulting me?" The temperature in the room dropped 10 degrees. Elena turned to face Noah. He stood frozen, unable to meet her eyes. She spoke clearly, so everyone could hear. "Noah, come with me, now." Then she looked at Mark. "You, stay here. HR will be in touch." The entire room seemed to hold its breath. Elena walked to the door. Noah followed on shaking legs. As they left, whispers exploded behind them. "Did you see that? She defended him? What just happened?" The hallway felt like it stretched for miles. Noah walked 3 steps behind Elena, his heart pounding so hard he could hear it. She didn't look back, didn't say anything. They reached the elevator. She pressed the button for the 42nd floor. The doors closed. They were alone. Noah finally found his voice. "I'm so sorry. I never meant to cause trouble." Elena turned to face him. Her expression wasn't angry. It was something else. Something Noah couldn't read. "Stop apologizing." The elevator climbed, floor after floor. Elena looked at him directly. "We need to talk. Privately." The elevator dinged. The doors opened to the executive floor. Elena stepped out first. "Follow me." And Noah, with no idea what was about to happen, followed her into the CEO's office. The door closed behind them with a soft click. Noah stood in the center of the massive office. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked the entire city. Elena walked to her desk. She didn't sit. She stood facing him. The silence stretched between them. Noah broke first. "I'm truly sorry, Ms. Ward. I never meant to disrespect you." Elena placed her phone on the desk. "The message. Tell me about it." Noah blinked. "What? Why did you write 'wish you were home with me'? Who was it really for?" Noah's throat tightened. "My daughter, Lily. She's 6. Elena nodded slowly. "Tell me about her." Noah hesitated. Then he started talking. About Lily, about his wife Anna, about the day she died during childbirth, about the nights he stayed up holding Lily while she had fever, working on his laptop with one hand, rocking her with the other, about leaving work early every day to pick her up from daycare, always terrified he'd be fired for it, about cooking dinner on a hot plate because they couldn't afford to fix the stove, about reading her bedtime stories every single night, even when he was exhausted. His voice cracked. "She's everything I have, and that morning, she texted me saying she missed me. I just wanted to tell her I missed her too." Elena listened without interrupting. For 10 full minutes, she just listened. Her cold expression gradually softened. When Noah finished, Elena was quiet for a long moment. Then she asked a question that surprised him. "How long has Mark been targeting you?" Noah looked up sharply. "What?" "Mark, your manager. How long has he been making your life difficult?" Noah didn't know how to answer. He'd never told anyone. 2 years. Elena's jaw tightened. Elena opened her laptop. She turned the screen toward Noah. "Come here. I want to show you something." Noah approached carefully. On the screen was an email chain, all from Mark to upper management. Elena scrolled through them. Employee performance concerns regarding Noah Hale. Recommendation to deny annual bonus due to inconsistent output. Request to reassign project responsibilities due to reliability issues. Noah felt sick. "I never knew he sent these." "Of course you didn't." Elena's voice was sharp. "He made sure you wouldn't." She opened another file. "These are the actual performance reviews from clients, from team members who worked with you." Noah leaned closer. Every single review was positive. Had excellent attention to detail. Responsive and thorough. Goes above and beyond despite limited resources. Noah couldn't believe what he was seeing. Elena continued. Mark has been systematically blocking your advancement, falsifying reports, keeping you in the lowest position. But why? Elena pulled up another document. Because 3 years ago, before you were moved to support, you were leading a product design project, a major one. Noah remembered. That was before Anna died, before everything fell apart. Mark wanted that project, but management chose you instead. So when you had to step back due to personal tragedy, he made sure you could never come back. Noah felt his knees go weak. All this time, all the struggle, the humiliation, it wasn't because he was incompetent. It was sabotage. Elena closed the laptop. You're not useless, Noah. You never were. And it's time you knew the truth. She walked to a filing cabinet, pulled out an old folder. The label read, Archived Intern Projects, 6 years ago. Elena placed it on the desk. Open it. Noah's hands trembled as he lifted the cover. Inside was a product design proposal, detailed sketches, technical specifications, and at the bottom of the first page, 2 names. Lead designers, Noah Hale and Anna Hale. Noah's breath stopped. This is your wife's internship project. Elena's voice softened. She was my intern 6 years ago. Noah looked up at Elena with wide eyes. You knew Anna? Elena nodded. She was brilliant, passionate, and she talked about you constantly. Elena pulled out a handwritten note clipped to the file. She wrote this a month before she passed away. She wanted me to keep it with the project files. Noah took the note with shaking hands. The handwriting was Anna's. Dear Elena, thank you for believing in this project. But more than that, thank you for seeing what Noah is capable of. He's the most talented designer I've ever met, but he's also the most selfless. He always puts family before ambition. He always chooses love over recognition. If anything ever happens to me, please remember him. He deserves more than he'll ever ask for. Anna, tears blurred Noah's vision. He hadn't seen Anna's handwriting in years. Elena turned toward the window. When I received your message yesterday, I didn't understand why it affected me so much. Her voice was quieter now. I've built this company from nothing. I have money, power, respect. But nobody has ever missed me. Not the way you missed your daughter in that message. She paused. I've read Anna's note 100 times over the years. She wrote about a kind of love I didn't think was real. The kind where someone chooses you every single day. Elena looked back at Noah. Yesterday when I read, I miss you, wish you were home with me. For 1 second, I wondered what it would feel like if someone meant that for me. Noah didn't know what to say. For the first time, he saw Elena not as the ice-cold CEO, but as a woman who was just as lonely as he was. The moment shattered when Noah's phone rang. The screen showed, Little Stars Daycare. Noah answered immediately. Hello? Mr. Hale, this is Miss Jennifer. Lily is having trouble breathing. We've called an ambulance. You need to come now. The phone almost slipped from Noah's hand. His face went pale. His whole body went rigid. Elena saw his expression change. What happened? It's Lily. She can't breathe. They're taking her to the hospital. Noah turned toward the door, stumbling slightly. Elena didn't hesitate even 1 second. I'll drive you. Come on. You don't have to. Move. Now. She grabbed her keys in her coat. They ran to the elevator together. Elena's car tore through the city streets. Rain pounded against the windshield. Noah sat in the passenger seat, hands pressed against his face. He was shaking uncontrollably. Elena drove with one hand. She placed her other hand on his shoulder. The first time she'd ever touched an employee. Breathe, Noah. I'm here. She's going to be okay. Noah couldn't speak. He could barely breathe himself. All he could think was, not Lily, please not Lily. I already lost Anna. I can't lose her too. Elena's hand stayed on his shoulder the entire drive. Steady, warm, grounding him. When they reached the hospital, Elena didn't drop him off at the entrance. She parked and ran inside with him. Side by side, through the rain, into the emergency room, where the real battle was about to begin. The emergency room doors swung open. Noah ran straight to the reception desk. My daughter, Lily Hale, where is she? The nurse checked her computer. She's in emergency room 3. The doctor is with her now. Noah started toward the hallway. A security guard stopped him. Family only past this point. Noah's voice cracked. I am family. I'm her father. You'll need to wait here until the doctor comes out. Noah felt like he was drowning. Elena stepped forward. Let him through. The guard looked at her. Ma'am, I can't. Elena's voice turned to steel. That man's daughter is in there. Either you let him through or I will personally ensure you never work in this city again. The guard stepped aside immediately. Noah looked at Elena with tears in his eyes. Thank you. She just nodded. Go. 20 minutes felt like 20 hours. Noah paced back and forth outside the emergency room. His hands wouldn't stop shaking. Elena stood by the window, arms crossed, watching the rain. Other people in the waiting room kept glancing at her, whispering, Is that Elena Ward? The CEO of Helios? What's she doing here? A nurse walked by and did a double take. Ms. Ward? Elena didn't respond. Her focus was entirely on Noah. Finally, a doctor emerged. Noah rushed to him immediately. How is she? Is she okay? The doctor smiled gently. She's stable. It was an asthma attack triggered by anxiety. We've given her medication. She's breathing normally now. Noah's legs almost gave out from relief. Can I see her? Yes, but she needs rest. Try to keep her calm. Noah nodded frantically. As he started toward the room, Elena caught his arm. I'll wait here. You be with her. Noah looked at her. For the first time today, he saw her clearly. This powerful CEO who drove him here, who stood by him, who fought for him. Thank you, Elena. It was the first time he'd used her first name. She gave a small smile. Go to your daughter. Noah entered Lily's room. She was lying in the hospital bed, small, pale, but breathing. When she saw him, she reached out. Daddy? Noah rushed to her side. He held her hand tight. I'm here, sweetheart. I'm right here. I got scared at school. I couldn't breathe. I know, but you're safe now. You're okay. Lily's eyes closed, exhausted. Noah kissed her forehead, tears streaming down his face. Outside in the hallway, Elena stood with her arms crossed, watching the rain through the window. Then she heard a voice behind her. Well, the CEO herself. Elena turned. Mark stood there, phone in hand, smirking. Following your employee to the hospital? That's dedication. Elena's expression went ice cold. What are you doing here? Mark held up his phone. Tracking Noah. He left work during office hours, without permission. That's grounds for termination. He started recording. And now I have proof, the CEO playing favorites. This will look great to the board. Elena took one step forward. Mark kept talking, confident. Face it, Noah's a liability. Single dad who can't keep his personal life separate, and you defending him just makes you look weak. You're fired. Mark stopped mid-sentence. What? Elena's voice was calm, deadly calm. You heard me. You're terminated. Effective immediately. Mark laughed nervously. You can't fire me. I'm a senior manager. I have contracts. Harassment, falsification of employee records, abuse of power. Elena counted on her fingers. I have 2 years of documented evidence from multiple sources, including emails you thought you deleted. Mark's face went pale. You're bluffing. Elena pulled out her phone. She showed him the screen, an email thread, all his messages to upper management, fabricating complaints about Noah. I had Ite recover everything, every lie, every manipulation, every attempt to destroy Noah's career. Mark's hand trembled. You can't. Elena stepped closer. Her voice dropped. Noah Hale is being reinstated to product design engineer, senior level, effective Monday. Mark's mouth opened. No sound came out. Elena continued. And you? You're blacklisted. I'll personally ensure every tech company in this city knows what you did. Security guards appeared at the end of the hallway. Elena gestured to them. Escort him out. He's trespassing. Mark tried to protest. You can't do this. I'll sue. The guards took his arms. As they dragged him away, Elena called out, "And Mark, delete that video or I'll add corporate espionage to your termination file." Mark's phone clattered to the floor. The guards pulled him around the corner. His voice echoed down the hallway. Then silence. Elena stood alone in the hallway. She took a deep breath. Then she walked back to Lily's room. Through the window, she could see Noah sitting beside his daughter's bed, holding her small hand in both of his. Lily was asleep now, peaceful. Noah's head was bowed, his shoulders shaking slightly. He was crying, not from pain, from relief. Elena watched them for a long moment. A father and daughter who had almost lost everything, but didn't. She placed her hand on the window glass, and for the first time in years, Elena Ward felt something she thought she'd forgotten. Purpose. The hospital was quiet now. Lily slept peacefully in her room. The medicine had worked. Her breathing was steady and calm. Noah stood on the small balcony outside, looking at the city lights below. He'd almost lost her today. The thought still made his chest tight. Footsteps behind him. Elena appeared in the doorway. She held 2 cups of coffee. "Thought you might need this." Noah took one. Their fingers brushed for a second. "Thank you. For everything today?" Elena leaned against the railing beside him. "You don't need to keep thanking me." They stood in silence for a moment, just watching the city breathe. Elena spoke first. "I've read that message dozens of times." Noah looked at her, confused. "What message?" "I miss you, wish you were home with me." Noah felt his face heat up. "I'm still sorry about that." "Don't be." Elena turned to face him fully. "That message was the most honest thing anyone has said to me in years." The night air was cold, but her eyes were warm. "I've spent my entire life building walls, being strong, being untouchable, but reading those words..." She paused. "For one moment, I wondered what it would feel like to be someone's home." Noah's breath caught. Elena stepped closer. Very close. "Noah, there's something you need to know." His voice came out barely above a whisper. "What?" Elena leaned in, so close he could feel her breath. She whispered directly into his ear. "I miss you too." Noah's heart stopped. Elena pulled back just enough to look into his eyes. "I know it sounds crazy. We barely know each other. But today, watching you fight for your daughter, seeing who you really are." Her hand found his. "I don't want to be alone anymore. And I don't think you should be either." Noah couldn't find words. Elena smiled, small but genuine. "Let me help you raise Lily. I'm not promising I'll be perfect. I don't know how to be a mother. But I promise I won't let you fight alone anymore." She squeezed his hand. "Let me be part of your family. If you'll have me." Noah looked at her for a long time. In the city of lights, he saw something he hadn't felt in years. Hope. A new beginning. A chance at happiness. He squeezed her hand back. "I'd like that." Elena's smile widened. "And Noah? That accidental text message?" She leaned close again, whispered one more time. "That was the most beautiful mistake of your life." Behind them through the window, Lily stirred in her sleep. Peaceful, safe, home. Life sometimes changes direction from the smallest mistakes. A text sent to the wrong person, a word spoken without thinking, a moment of panic at the edge of despair, but maybe it wasn't a mistake at all. Maybe that was life opening a new door when you thought every door had closed. Kindness never loses. Noah stayed gentle even when the world was cruel, and in the end, that kindness saved him. Love doesn't disappear. It just finds a new path. Anna's love for Noah didn't end when she passed. It lived on. It guided Elena to him. It protected Lily. Love transforms, but it never dies. The people who are looked down on often have the strongest hearts. Noah was called weak, pathetic, a bottom-tier employee, but he had more courage than anyone. He raised a daughter alone. He worked through grief. He kept going when everything hurt. And sometimes the most beautiful things come when you least expect them. Noah never imagined that one accidental text would change his life. He never dreamed someone would fight for him the way Elena did. But life works that way. When you stop running, when you let yourself be seen, when you admit you need help, that's when miracles happen. Nobody deserves to fight alone. Not the single parents working two jobs, not the people hiding their pain behind smiles, not the ones who think they're too broken to be loved. Everyone deserves someone who says, I'm here, you're not alone anymore. Because in the end, we're all just looking for the same thing, a hand to hold in the dark, a voice that says, I miss you and means it, a place to call home. And sometimes that home isn't a place, it's a person. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear it today, because you never know whose life might change from one simple message.